One of the comments say under Aisha's video, "I completely disagree with the second argument. Saying it was normal back then implies that Islam is not timeless and that it is only appropriate for the Prophet's time period." Basically saying that if Prophet peace be upon him married Aisha at 9, this marriage becomes an example for other Muslims to marry at a young age. And this claim is absolutely, certainly not correct. The reason being, this is not a Sunnah of Prophet himself, meaning not everything that the Prophet does is taken as an example. For instance, the Prophet peace be upon him ate, drank, breathed, and rode a camel. But we're not going to get up and decide to ride a camel in the middle of a busy street with traffic. Because obviously, these actions were done either for human needs or due to circumstances specifically to that time. It's not like Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him had a Bugatti and instead he chose to ride a camel. We see these examples in every prophet of Allah. Take Jesus, peace be upon him, as an example. He never got married in his lifetime. However, Christians today won't say they will not marry just because Jesus didn't, because they are also aware that his not marrying was not for religious reasons. Perhaps his decision not to marry was to dedicate himself entirely to his disciples and to preach the oneness of God without associating any partners. That said, his decision not to marry anyone is a matter of personal prophetic wisdom. Coming back to the Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him, the same rule also applies to him. He did marry Aisha, though not just with her. He, peace be upon him, had other wives, his first being 15 years older than him. Naturally, while we don't claim the Muslims must marry a woman over the age of 15, we also can argue that Muslims should marry a 9-year-old simply because the Prophet peace be upon him did. Now we should be realistic here. Thousands, if not millions of years, till a century ago of the age of consent 18. Even that's not globally accepted, by the way. Humanity has always determined the age of marriage based on the biological nature of humans. There were no kindergartens, no elementary schools, high schools, or universities, no concerns about having a good career, car, or house. Back then, people simply were born and started their lives as soon as they could walk and lift things. Boys were working to be a man, girls were learning to be a woman. For those who watched the full video on Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, watch again. The refutation to the claim about Aisha's age isn't because people in that society accepted the marriage. The marriage happened because it was permissible. Why? Because Aisha peace be upon her grew up in a society that only teaches her how to be a woman. Unlike the social pressures of today, putting all the conditions on a person to be just considered an adult. Many Islamophobes now are so concerned with Islam's growth as the fastest growing religion that they reject their history, biology, and remain ignorant of who Aisha really was just to try to attack Islam. If only they knew how intelligent Aisha, blessings be upon her, was. She was and is one of the greatest scholars in Islam. Go watch the full video.